So this is the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and today we're going to do a requested speed test against the Galaxy Z Fold 7 to see how much better performing one is over the other. Let's find out. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and let's go ahead and just begin this video with a boot up test in 3, 2, go. Now, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is the newest phone from Samsung over here on the block. It does have a much better front display, cover display. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, Apple's best in their lineup right now, and the Z Fold 7 does cost twice as much, basically. It's probably closer to 800 more, but you do tend to get a lot of good trade-in values if you trade in a flagship. But the Z Fold 7 takes the first victory by booting on first over the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So if you're in a situation where you had to go ahead and restart your phone, you'd be in your Samsung a bit quicker. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the biometrics. So with the iPhone, you just kind of swipe in and you're right in the phone, no problem. You do have to bring the phone up for raise to wake. Now to get into your Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, if you look on this side right here, this power key is also a fingerprint scanner. And then you can also use this camera here to unlock, or if you're on the inner display, the fingerprint scanner still will work, or you can use that camera to unlock. So let's go ahead and see that. If you just kind of remember where it's at, I do feel like you'll be able to get into the Z Fold 7 faster, just because you don't really have to do any of that iPhone bring it up, face unlock. And this one also can bypass the lock screen. So if you just look like that, you're in. And then also, hold on, let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at the inside, and you can see you can unlock that way. You can also do the swipe to unlock if you want to turn that feature on, so it's more like the iPhone where with the face unlock you can swipe to unlock. So yeah, there's just a little more ways to get into the Z Fold 7, but generally it is a bit faster to unlock this one as well. So starting up and getting in is quicker day to day on Samsung's device. Now, the general software, iOS 18.5, has been butter smooth for the majority of my usage with it. No major issues to speak of with this software. So if I go ahead and pull down, I go over here, I scroll along, no major issues. It's not the fastest feeling, but it is very, very smooth and very consistent. Now, Samsung has also improved their speed and consistency as well. So every day you don't really have any issues with the Samsung Galaxy either when it comes to the consistency. It just kind of scrolls along very nicely and smoothly for your day-to-day operations. So no major issues there on the Galaxy Z Fold 7 either. So for this video, you can see the iPhone is on iOS 18.5 and the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 is going to be on One UI 8. If you're wondering why my screen looks a bit yellow, I forgot to turn off Eye Comfort Shield, but you can see right there, One UI version 8.0, Android version 16 with the June security patch on board here. So we have arrived at the app portion of this video. You can see everything is closed out for both. Let's go ahead and go into calendar, and you can see the animation a little faster in the Z Fold. Coming out though on One UI 8, those animations look quite nice as well. And if we go over here to clock, pretty much the same. This is just a basic row. Calculator, again, the animation faster on the right. Also, with the Samsung, you can go into Good Lock and you can actually customize the animation. Let's go into App Store, and you'll see right here, faster again on the Z Fold. I'll go over here to Games, and we'll go over here to Apps. And we'll go ahead and swipe out. We'll go into ChatGPT now, and you'll see that was faster for the iPhone. We'll go into Gemini, and faster on the Z Fold 7. Also better integrated with Gemini on the Z Fold 7. The iPhone is integrated with ChatGPT. Let's go into Copilot. And you can see that was a bit faster on the iPhone, YouTube. And then if I go over here to trending, let's go to trending here. We'll scroll down. Actually, let's just go to one of these. How about movies and TV? And you can see we'll go to free. You can see how much more content does display over here. And that one didn't even load on the iPhone. We'll go to live. And now this one displays more on the iPhone, but bigger on the Z Fold 7. Generally, though, you're going to have probably a better media experience on the Z Fold 7. Let's go into Instagram. And you'll see Instagram. Let's go over here to my home page. Bigger photos, but the iPhone actually shows a bit more when we're like here. You can see, let's go ahead and scroll to about, scroll down a bit here. So I'm like right about here. You can see that I can see like an extra row there. So even though the Z Fold 7 app is optimized, sometimes these slab style phones will actually show more. Let's go over here to profile. And you can see, I didn't actually see that one. Let me know which one won that one down below. But both of them are very smooth in the scroll. So if you are now looking to finally switch to a Z Fold 7, you will get that same iPhone-like performance here. And this probably would have been closer if that didn't have some pop-ups. So let's go ahead and do Groupon one more time. 3, 2, go. And they pretty much loaded the same. It's just pop up again. But if we go to categories, hold on, I missed the tab. We'll go over here to, how about sale? You'll see both scroll fine. A little bit of chop there on the iPhone. We'll go into Dead Trigger 2. Now we're getting into the gaming row. And you'll see iPhone was ready to play first. We'll head up out of here. And looks like the Galaxy was ready to go. Let's swipe up out of there. And I'm going to go ahead and actually lock the rotation now, because now we're going to get some issues. Let's go into Subway Surfers. And you've seen Subway Surfers is going to the iPhone. So the iPhone pulling ahead in a couple of games here so far. But will that change as we get into the harder to open games here? RTS is not one of those. We'll hold on for a second till we get to Call of Duty. And you'll see faster for the Z Fold 7. So they're trading a couple here and there. And if we swipe up out of here, we'll go into Free Fire. What I'm noticing is that the Z Fold 7 has a faster animation, but some of the apps are better optimized for the iPhone. But the Z Fold 7 tends to launch most of them quicker. So if you want a quicker, snappier feel, you'll probably like the 8 Elite and the Z Fold 7. All right, so let's go into Call of Duty on both now and see which one can actually launch this game first. Of course, you have an expansive display here, a smaller display on the left. However, that doesn't mean that the Z Fold will load it first, but it does. So it looks like the Z Fold was ahead. Based on the confirm button, it will be a bit faster. But the Z Fold actually won this, but only by a little. So it looks like you're basically getting the same type of performance either way you go here. Just depends on what type of performance or what type of size phone you want, foldable or non-foldable. You'll see right there, faster on the Z Fold 7 and Geekbench 6, faster on the iPhone. And we'll go into 3D Mark, and that was faster on the iPhone, and we'll swipe up out of there, and we'll go into Speed Test Net. That's faster on the Z Fold 7. And we'll go into InShot, and that's faster on the Z Fold 7. So the Z Fold 7 opened some apps faster, the iPhone some faster, but I think overall the Z Fold 7 opened more, snappier. However, when it came to loading the games, it seems like the games are sometimes better optimized still for the iPhone. However, a lot of the mainstream stuff you're going to do on the Z Fold 7 is essentially not only snappier, but kind of the same thing. So if you want to try out foldable, this is probably the best time ever to do so if you've been using an iPhone. Let's go ahead and take a look at the RAM management. So when looking at the iPhone, you really don't have true multitasking, but what you do have is very smooth RAM management. So when you do switch between your applications, you just get buttery smooth performance. I will say though that some phones on the Android side are starting to have an even smoother look, but iPhone has been the king of this for so long, and it's still just a fantastic experience when going through the applications. Essentially no reloads here with the 8 gigabytes of RAM, and swiping through, even when you pop in between them, while you can't split them, which is super annoying, it's still a very nice experience because everything always just pops right open and loads and is ready to go. Let's check out the Galaxy Z Fold 7 now. So with the Fold 7, it also is ready to go, and it has 12 gigabytes of RAM, so that's up 4 over the iPhone. And I did have to use the good lock to disable the swipe gesture. If we go over here, you can see their animations are definitely very nice compared to prior years of Samsung. So I think you're going to be very happy with the way this looks. I feel like if you used an iPhone, YouTube is reloading the feed. If you used an iPhone, let's go to Gemini. I think if you used, yeah, like I say, if you used a iPhone before and you want to try the Fold, you're going to be very happy with how it performs. And the final Geekbench 6 results are in, and you could see a 3425 for the iPhone, a 2657, with the Z Fold winning by a little bit in the multi-core, 8976 versus 84 87. So these are close enough that I don't think you're going to notice a substantial difference. Let's go ahead and look at 3D Mark, and we'll swipe over here to Wildlife Extreme. And we'll go ahead and run a test here to see what they do graphically. I'll be back. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 didn't do as amazing as I thought against the S25 Ultra. But the S25 Ultra was already beating the iPhone 16 Pro Max, so we'll see how this test fares here. I'll be back when they're done. And so the final results are in, and the iPhone has taken an L, but only slightly here, 4411 to 26.4 FPS, scoring better than 85% of devices on the market here. In the Galaxy Z Fold 7, 4466 with 26.74. Scoring better than 86%. So these are nearly neck and neck versus the S25 Ultra, which was faster than the Z Fold 7. So this is like basically the foldable to switch from your iPhone 16 Pro Max if you want to try out the foldable, because it's definitely neck and neck in performance. But the Z Fold 7 is definitely going to lose once the 17 Pro Max gets here. So that's going to wrap it up for me here today. You've seen some app tests, you've seen some launching, you've seen some RAM management, you've seen benchmarks. They're pretty much neck and neck. And I think these are even closer than the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which is to me the best and fastest Samsung phone out there. So if you wanted to give the Z Fold 7 a try, trade in 16 Pro Max, you're going to be pretty happy. But if you're looking for substantially faster performance or just so much better in that area, you will enjoy the multitasking and split screen modes that are available, but you're not going to get a substantial improvement in your day-to-day real-world performance, even though this phone is almost a year newer than the 16 Pro Max. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you all in the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.